Hey, what's going on everybody? It is GullYY here, and in this video, we're celebrating 5,000 subscribers. I know, okay, I'm a little late. To be fair, this game was started when I hit 5,000 subscribers, but one, it took a long time to finish, and two, I straight up forgot about it. I was like, oh yeah, I should probably upload this, so here we are. We're doing another voiceover commentary style thing. It's going to be epic. Let's jump right into it. So I go ahead and I pick Luxador because can't go wrong with Luxador. These people are all people from my Discord server. Basically, I did an announcement, told people to give me their code, and they were randomly selected with a random number generator. And if you won, you got added to the game, and it's pretty epic. So we see our spawn here. We got some fish, we got some fruit, standard Luxador stuff. Turn 0, I just move my warrior and train another. And then turn 1, we're just going to do some more exploring. We see Illyrion's capital, and we also see some Venger terrain. So two of the most strongest tribes, early game, arguably, right off the bat, right next to us. Should be pretty spicy. Just going to move our warrior south. We find a ruins. And right now, I'm just kind of looking at the tech tree. Did I pick up riding last turn? I did pick up riding last turn. That's kind of weird considering I couldn't train a rider that turn, but I picked it up anyways. It would have been smarter to wait until the next turn to get it. Like I said in my Battle Royale video, this is rather old gameplay. I think this was even recorded before the Battle Royale. I don't quite remember actually. Anywho, we find a ruins, and we train a rider. I decide we might as well get vision on Illyrion's capital. And yeah, then we just end our turn. Here we meet Venger, and oh man, they are angry. And Illyrion has nothing in their capital. So Venger's going to be able to siege that city rather easily. And that is not good for us. We don't need Venger with two capitals, okay? That's not a very fun time. Is my audio recording for this game? Now it should be going. Now you guys can hear the game. My bad. How is everyone doing today? I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda stressing. I got a whole heck ton of homework to do, and I also gotta get this video uploaded on time. But you know what? It's all good. Aquarion shows up, they give us a womp, and Illyrion moves on to our ruins. They also start slugging it out with Venger. Venger retaliates. Oh man. We get Free Spirit from Illyrion, and Hunting from Aquarion. Each of those are not particularly useful at the moment, which stinks. I go ahead and I siege Illyrion. Might not have been the best play since Venger's gonna be able to just attack my warrior. I go ahead and I get their Polytar on the ruins down to 2 health. Not quite enough to kill it, but it's also enough to block it off, so that'll help give them some trouble. Aquarion completely dabs on Illyrion, and now Venger is going to siege this capital. So yeah, it may have just been best to wait for Venger to siege it, and then we siege it by killing their swordsman. I think that would have been the better play. We meet Imo, we get shields. That's good and fun, I guess, but I'm not really defending right now. But it will be useful if we try to get a navy up. Now at this point, we kind of just deal with the fact that Venger is going to get that city. So we go ahead and try and take that ruins one more time. And Zabasi rolls in. Also, Omaji rolls in. Everybody's rolling in, saying hello. And Venger takes that Illyrion capital. Chivalry from Omaji, which is kind of spicy. We also see that Aquarion is getting sieged. We get stars from the ruins, which is very nice. And I think now I'm going to start making my way towards a giant, if I remember correctly. Yes, so go ahead and grab farming. And this will get us a giant next turn. Now I just do some more exploring with my riders. Train a warrior. And we end our turn. we see that Zabasi was the person who took over Aquarion. So they're probably starting to get pretty big. We saw them in what was previously Illyrion City, and we're also seeing them take over Aquarion. Well, we saw them take over Aquarion. We saw them take over Aquarion. We also see some more flames in the south. I guess southwest. Probably Zabasi going gamer mode. Problem is, we can't really do anything about it. It's your turn in the Bright Cat. Very cool. We got a giant up on turn 7. Not bad. And with that monument, if we grab fishing, we'll be able to get another one. I need to sneeze. Ooh! So Venger's starting to look a little scary. They're amassing the swordsmen, and the only units we have is a pretty much dead warrior and an almost dead rider. And of course our giant, but he's slow and clunky, but he's strong nonetheless. I think at this point I'm trying to remember where I got chivalry from. We see that somebody has 3 capitals, somebody else has 2, and then Venger, of course, also has 2. Right now we're just marching our giant closer to that previous Illyrion capital, so maybe we can take it back from him. I'm also trying to amass some riders that'll help us do some nay-naying if they need to. I'm thinking ranged units would have probably been better here, like archers, rather than riders. So grab fishing, and look at all those whales. So yeah, it may have also been wiser to unlock fishing before we got farming. Because if I saw those 3 whales, and of course there's the 4th one already in our borders, I probably would have opted for border growth rather than population growth. Zabasi's showing up again. We also see that Imperious border in the north, which is kind of wacky. So now I'm just thinking how I want to move my giant. Either south or west. If I were playing this game today, I would move it south. Let's see if I end up moving it a different direction, since this gameplay is kind of old. South, yeah. Couldn't I have gotten whaling this turn? I don't know why I didn't unlock whaling this turn. That's really weird. Because either way, I still would have gotten a giant. Maybe I didn't see it because my city was kind of blocking it? I don't know. That's really weird. Anyways, now I got 2 giants, so that's going to be real spicy. And hopefully with those we can start doing some damage to Venger. Siege a city or 2, hopefully. We're going to have to if we want to hope to make a comeback. I grab roads, that way I can get my giant zooming. This is where things start to fall apart. For some reason, I decide, hey, I'll send 1 giant to the previous Illyrion capital, and then 1 giant up to his own capital. That way, I can just siege 2 cities, and the same time it would take me to siege 1 if I move both giants down. That looks good on paper, but you guys will see. So we see that Venger is getting pressured, presumably from Zabasi. Venger gets a city wall up, and he has a veteran swordsman on his capital, his Illyrion capital. And that is a big problem for us, because now we're not even going to be able to prey on sieging it. However, if I had that other giant down there, would have been much more easier to siege it. And I think I might actually go ahead and fast forward the game a couple of turns. We see by turn 15, we're pretty much still in the exact same position. We have a giant by Wenger, another giant by Wenger, but we can't just get that little extra oomph of power we need in order to siege one of his cities. I still haven't gotten whaling. Hey, you finally noticed the whale. Good job. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like I said, old gameplay. And yeah, I definitely think ranged units would have been more beneficial than riders. So would border growth. Right now I'm basically getting harassed by Wenger swordsmen. And I think this is where I kinda say, okay, we're not gonna be able to siege the Illyrian city, so let's just go for his capital. I keep going back and forth between calling that his Illyrian city and Illyrian capital and Wenger second capital. You know what I mean. I'm just talking about the south city of his. I moved my giant east so that hopefully whatever is shooting it will have to go to the shoreline in order to hit it again, assuming it's a boat. And, you know, that might allow it to get hit by something. Zabasi has chivalry. They ain't happy. Imo has a giant. Wenger is being Wenger. Now we start trying to get a navy up. Problem is, any boat that we get is just going to be hit by a Wenger swordsman. So, it's a very rough spot for us. See that Zabasi has 4 capitals. Wenger has 2 still. Really, the game hasn't moved that much. We see something chonky hits Imo's giant, and they move him back, so he must be getting pressured by something. Be it a battleship or a ice fortress. We finally meet Zabasi, technically, and we get climbing. And now we have 2 giants by Wenger. We also move on to that mountain. That reveals Imo's capital. And Wenger's swordsman actually did not hit our boat, so we're just going to work on getting some boat boys up and vibing. Maybe we'll find a coastal city somewhere east. There ain't very much land there, but we can try. Now I just kinda, you know, ting Wenger swordsman, we call it a day. Imo's getting pressured really hard. A knight starts to siege their capital, and they start shooting it back, but they aren't going to be able to take it down. Which is bad news for us, because Zabasi just keeps getting stronger and stronger. They're snowballing. Wenger has a city wall now on their capital, and that really makes me angry, but we can still siege it nonetheless. So yeah, definitely what cost us there. I'm not saying if I had done this differently, it would have won us the game. We should have kept our giants together, siege the previous Illyrian capital, then either hold that point or go up to the Wenger capital and siege that as well. Because it's turn 19 and we're just now getting our second city. That's pretty not good. We pick up navigation, now we can start doing some exploring. And there is some land, but it doesn't look like we're going to have a village. I shoot Imo's rider, not rider, I shoot Imo's defender just because it looked funny, I guess. Zabasi takes down Imo. They're getting boats up as well now. And we see Imperius is getting sieged, presumably by Kiku. In fact, we can probably go ahead and check it out right here, if I decide to move up there. Take Wenger's capital. I decide to go for the big guns. We get big chonky battleship. Meet Kiku, meet Imperius. And we can siege Imperius right here. If I killed it, yeah, there we go. And then boat goes on to there. That city would be nice, but I don't think it'd be enough to make a full comeback. Zabasi has 5 capitals. We have 2. It ain't looking so hot. Wait, what killed our warrior? Was I not paying attention? I don't think the replay showed. But our warrior died. Probably got hit by a rider or 2. I don't want to kill his knight with my giant, because if I do that, our giant's right next to his giant, and giants have more attack than they have defense, so him hitting my giant would hurt. And of course it'd deal some damage back, but it wouldn't be enough to make it economically viable. Now we gotta start holding over Zabasi in the south, or else they're gonna come for us. They're already starting to mess up Venger. And there we see their siege in Venger. Kiku's also gonna start sieging Imperius soon. They're pelting us with rocks, it's not fun. Venger manages to pop a giant, so that'll hold him over for a turn or 2. I'm basically thinking, with 11 stars per turn, how are we going to hold off Kiku and Zabasi? You don't need me to tell you that that ain't going to work. In fact, I'm going to save us some time here and just jump forward a little bit. Turn 24, Zabasi is taking over Venger. We see that Polaris is still alive, which is interesting. Kiku is sieging Imperius. And there's Agami, just to really put salt in the wounds. Freezing my boat, man. We get forestry from them, which is cool, I guess. We get a giant battleship up, which, I mean, hey, that's kind of spicy. But, yeah. I'm basically working to try and grab this Imperius city from Kiku. That's not very nice of me, but I need it. And there we see Imperius City. This was kind of a silly move. We saw that Kiku's border extended out to here, and that was on a corner tile, so we pretty much knew that their city had to be here, and yet I moved my boat here anyway, so I could just get a free hit on that boat from the swordsman. So, goofy play on my part. Remember, fellas, you gotta look at the map, know what you're doing. Don't be stupid like me. Venger manages to pop another giant. I didn't notice it. This Gami's walking in. Giant battleship gets frozen, which is big poopy. But we can't really do anything about it. We see a catapult. That's not fun. And I guess I make the decision not to kill it so I can siege this city. I do think it would have been more economically viable to kill that catapult with my boat, my battleship. Apparently I'm still thinking on it. Yeah, I killed the swordsman. Now that catapult's going to be able to get a big ol' hit on my battleship. It's going to hurt a lot. It's not going to be worth it just to siege this city. Would have been wiser just to kill the catapult. Zabasi is trying to siege Venger again. Will they get it this time? We don't know. Our battleship gets yeeted. And we're getting pelted with rocks. Now we do get this Imperius city, which is kind of spicy. I'm just recovering my giant. I want to get it back up to full before I make it a giant battleship. Not sure why I moved that ship there rather than on this tile with the whale, because now I can get hit by a swordsman, a catapult. It's just like GullYY. I'll go ahead and save us some more time. Turn 30, the only thing that's changed is that Kiku's expanded their navy and taken that Imperious city back from us. And yeah, we're in the same spot still. I decided to go for that ruin so that Zibasi won't be able to get it, but they'll probably just kill that defender anyway with that giant, or not giant battleship, that regular battleship. Kiku's pressuring me with the boats. There's now just 4 tribes alive. Zibasi is, of course, chilling with 7 capitals. Do I really need to show you guys the rest of the gameplay? You've already figured out who wins. I'll go ahead and just fast forward. Kiku sieges my city, and Zibasi takes it from Kiku. It's just a big naval battle now between Kiku and Zibasi. I'm kind of just sitting there praying. Not really much else to it. Turn 39, Zibasi is sieging that previous Imperious city. And Zibasi has a whole heck ton of units by my capital. And they've also pretty much finished off Kiku by now. See that Kiku has 2 capitals, Zibasi has 9, I have 1. By turn 42, Kiku's gone. I am the only one who remains. I guarantee you he was saving me for last, otherwise he would have taken me out a long time ago. Which is nice, because that allows me to record the rest of the gameplay. Yeah, there's not really a point to playing anymore. I should have probably just ended my turn here, but oh well. Yeah, there we see Kiku's last city being sieged. And yes. They have a giant on my capital, and they yoink it. And that is that. Zibasi is the winner. Now here's the cool thing. Since this person is of course on Discord, I am able to contact them and everything. And they happen to take a screenshot of every single one of their turns, in case, you know, they happen to win. So we can see exactly what they were doing compared to what we were doing. And I'll just kind of speed through them. Here's their spawn. They have 2 farms and a fish. Not really a crazy Zibasi spawn. I definitely wouldn't call it good. They get an explorer, and I do definitely think on these large player games, instead of taking Luxador or something, I'm gonna train myself to take like Barter, Zibasi, Kiku, just so I can get an explorer on turn 0, because that's gonna give us, you know, stars, techs, all that fun stuff. I think it's a bit more viable than starting off with a swordsman or big chunky capital. Well, I don't know. Big chunky capital is pretty good. By turn 5, they've already taken a city, and they're also sieging Aquarion. Turn 10, Turn 15. Their knights are going sicko mode on IMO. And they have a navy. They have a giant ship, or I guess a giant boat technically. That's going to be real spicy for them. Screens are so large, so now we got 2 screenshots a turn. They meet Barter and Polaris. And I'm just kind of hiding in the clouds here on my capital. Turn 25. Turn 30. And turn 40. They've pretty much won. So yeah, it was pretty epic. I appreciate everyone for playing. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to doing more of these in the future as the channel continues to grow. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe for more epic Polytopia gameplay. Join my Discord server if you haven't already and you want to have a chance to be in one of these games. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a spectacular day.